Hi guys, welcome to my channel Sex Talk with Kissa, where we'll be discussing all things sex and yum. The aim of the channel is to normalize, just to normalize talking about sex, whether it's with our partners, which should be quite easy I think, or whether it's with friends, and just having conversations that I find most people shy away from regarding sex. I'm not sure why. I know it's a private thing. And it should be, but also it should be, at least with your partner, it should be something you can speak about openly and freely. So if you like the channel and you like the content, please like my channel, please share the content, please subscribe, and I'll really appreciate that. So in the first video, I spoke about where to start, and we started with the ladies, the V. I said, know your girl down there, take some time, go down, look, and just see, feel, touch. I spoke about the shape of the vagina and the different openings, and what to expect, what to do. I guess by this point in our lives, really, we know what we're doing, but there is room to try stuff. There's room to enjoy more stuff, to try and experiment. And I think it shouldn't just be, oh, lights off, lie down, spread, get your job done. And I know it becomes monotonous, especially when you've been in a relationship for a long time. It becomes quite repetitive. It's easy to fall into routine. Look, I can understand falling into routine with house chores and kids and, work and that kind of thing, gym and eating and the rest of it, and baby, and baby has a schedule. So I understand those aspects of life, and you have to keep a schedule and you have to keep a timetable and keep everything kind of moving, in accordance with day to day, because it should be uniform and it keeps our lives easy and simpler. But I think with sex, we cannot have a schedule. I refuse to think that we should have a schedule. And I think, and I know the exhaustion that comes with, when there's kids, especially when they're younger, and it's such a busy time, and you're with them all the time, you have to care for them and see to them, and at the end of the day you're so exhausted. But this is why I want to normalize talking about sex, because from personal experience, I always felt that at the end of a day, a full day, it just felt so exhausting that I almost felt depleted and didn't know if I had any more to give. But this is where I want to kind of correct that, because it's very, very easy, like I said, to get into that slump of, this again. So I think it also involves our partners. Your person has to kind of be there, like to walk you through that stage of life. And this part is for men. It's not for boys. This part is for men, real men, because things will change, especially when you have kids. Nothing's going to be the same. But while you navigate through that difficult stage, when kids are small and you've just had baby, you want your partner to understand. So it's a good time, I think, to bring your partner in and start to listen to some of these chats, because sometimes maybe men don't get it, or men feel kind of like, the baby's come now and all your attention's on the baby. So men also feel a bit neglected, which is normal. So involve your partner, involve him, and speak openly. And if he doesn't get it, you have to make him understand, or at least talk openly about it. This is how I feel at the end of the day. And then I would suggest for the partner to spend more time. And when I say more time, you want to pamper. Look, not every day can be dinner, candlelights, and soft music and strawberries and champagne. I get that. I'm going to touch on that a bit later on, but I get that most days, especially if you have a busy schedule and you have to get to bed at a certain time because you're waking up for work, I get it. There's snack sex. Most times during the week, it might end up snack sex, which is good sex. And then on the weekend, you want to spoil each other and just do a bit more. But in the tricky stage, when kids are small, involve your partner. So it also comes down to your private. So like also after kids, Nothing's the same down there. It takes some time. You have to also be very patient with yourself and with your body. So that's where I keep saying involve your partner. So also, I've always said, know yourself. So when you've learned yourself, whether you learn yourself before you have kids or after you have kids, there is no time that's gone or wasted. You can start at any age. I believe you can be 50 plus, you can be 60 plus, and you can still learn yourself. You can still learn your body. You can still have an active sexual life. You can still feel sexy and, and feel loved and love yourself. So when you are taking time to learn yourself down there, things change, like I said, when you have smaller kids and when your body has changed. So sometimes know for a fact that if you struggle, for instance, one of the things is if you struggle after having kids and you're dry, and this is not only for women who've had kids, I've heard single people talk about that, whether it's stress, whether it's medication that we take, or whether it's the food we eat, I don't know. But sometimes that's a thing, that's a factor, and it's a real thing. So there's things you can do. You can lubricate. If you don't want to lubricate, you want to do it naturally, you can do it naturally. You can get wet naturally. You just have to spend time. This one is for the guys. When you're having foreplay, the reason for foreplay is that us ladies, it's very mental. Take a longer time to get, for the body or the vagina to get to that point where it's ready to receive you, where it's nice and slippery and sliding, and it's moist and warm, and it's stretched back as well, because as you get hornier, your vagina will also stretch back, your cervix will pull up to the back, so it elongates your inside. So also, if you're with a larger man, you want to spend the time on foreplay so that it's not painful for her. It will be nice for you because you're stretching it by force, but you want it to be enjoyable for both of you. So take the time, foreplay. Foreplay, your hands, your tongue, your fingers, every part, your legs. Like, even if you're kissing her here and your leg is rubbing on her leg, and with one hand you can softly tug her hair or hold the back of her neck, hold the back of her neck, hold it. It's yours, hold it. And you're kissing her. And your other hand, go down, touch her. Please make sure that you moisturize. Like, lubricate your fingers, guys. It's really not nice to go down there with dry fingers. And be gentle with the clit. There is no such of, this is not a DJ, a DJ spin table, please. It's delicate down there. It's got so many nerves, active nerves. So treat it with respect. Respect the clit and it will respect you back. It will love you for life. So just be gentle and always make sure your fingers are moisturized or lubricated. Lubricate, lubricate, lubricate. Okay. And the wetter she becomes, dip your finger, go in, come out, and use that lubricant for a round and just play along by the anal area with the clit. We'll get into the action of going down there and how to eat down there and feast and enjoy. But I thought a really good place to touch on today and just to finish off with the ladies was really take the time to know yourself, know the body, understand the different stages that we have in life with regards to family and kids and responsibility, but also having all that in mind and all those responsibilities. Never neglect yourself, never neglect your relationship, never neglect your man. I know it's hard. I know it is. If it was easy, we wouldn't be having these kind of talks, and the thread through all the conversations wouldn't be the same. That the complaints, or rather the concerns from both men and women, are the same, like repetitive things. And that's what's amazed me, I think, over the years, that there's nothing under the sun that is new. Everything has happened before, and everything just does a circle and comes round again. So anything you experience, whether it's a time where you feel not sexy at all, whether it's a time that you can't even stand, you don't even want to see what's happening down there, whether it's a time you don't even feel like grooming, that is natural. And just quickly on the grooming part of it, I had someone comment, we were talking actually about how it looks down there, and a lady said she doesn't know, I won't name names, but a friend said she doesn't like to look down there because she thinks it doesn't look pretty or it's not pretty. So my take on that is, what may not be pretty to you may be the most gorgeous flower your man has ever seen, you know. So it also comes down to preference. Like we talked about grooming, like, okay, clean shaven or bikini wax or Brazilian wax or everything waxed or shaved, like smooth runway, or, you know, scattered thunder showers, or a bit of a design. What do you like? What's your preference? Because some people like it completely bald and not a stubble there, and then some people like a little bit of a stubble, and then some people like it really, really hairy. So I had a friend once that was dating someone, and a very serious relationship, and she said he liked the forest look. If I may, that's what he loves. So it was a big concern for her, because it was almost like a make or break thing for her and him. As much as she was into him and the relationship was going good, that was something that bugged her so much that it was almost like, I can't do it. So I said, okay, but then how about if there's like a, you know, meet in the middle, you know? So maybe not have a wild forest, maybe have some forest and, you know, groom the edges, trim all the bushes, and then, you know, you still feel cute, you still feel clean, and it's also a cleanliness thing for us ladies. And then also, you know, he's met somewhere in the middle where he still has, you know, a bit of muff to dive into. So I think compromising and meeting each other in the middle is always a good place to be. I mean, you can't tug of war and then you want it this way and he wants it that way, and then it's always a tug of war. I think meeting in the middle with everything, I think with everything in life, we can agree to disagree, and then, okay, let's meet in the middle. Okay, I don't agree with that, you don't agree with this. Okay, so where can we meet in the middle? It has to work for you both ways. And please, to the guys, as much as we are particular about how grooming, we expect the same from you. You can't expect us to have everything nice and prepped and ready and oh, so nice and juicy and smells good and fresh, and then you come all funky. Please, no. We want you groomed too, and we're good at doing it. We'll do it for you, and we'll do a good job at it too. You just gotta trust us. We'll go down there with everything we need to do, and we'll get it done. And I promise you, you'll feel fresh, you'll feel clean after that. But also, if it's your preference to be foresty, that's fine. So maybe just like I said, a bit of a groom, a bit of an edge trim, you know, and trim the hedges a bit. So that's what I talk about, meeting in the middle. So guys, this kind of brings us to almost a close with, you know, that part of the talk and like knowing your V. We'll get into the depth of now when we are enjoying the yum, like when your person now is going to come in and you're going to receive him, and how you're going to receive him, and what's nice for guys that they say and what we love. So we'll get into more in depth with that. And the next video we'll talk about more about the body, and I'll share maybe a bit about the guy side. Look, I'm not an expert. I'm just going to share what I've learned or heard the guys speak about. I grew up with a lot of boys in my family, so I've heard it all. So thank you so much for joining me, and please do like the page, subscribe, please share it with your friends and anyone who's interested to hear and just learn. And it's us just sharing information and talking and chatting and just getting to normalize the topic of sex. So guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you again. Bye.